Great to see you, Mr. and Mrs. Camp, today. How are we doing? Thank you very much for coming in. We're going to go over your financial plan, which is the product of our hard work together. I've actually collected lots of information, and I'm confident that you'll be pleased with the results. Most of my clients feel more secure having a financial plan, even though it's a work in progress that may change over time. Now, let me present you with the financial plan. This is your financial plan, and this will be the executive summary, of which we will review today. Now, before we get started and digging into executive summary, have anything changed since the last time we met that might affect the financial plan? Good. We will go over specific recommendation to meet your financial goals. We want to be as thorough as possible because we are doing a comprehensive planning. I've also included action plans so we can review who's going to do what and in what time frame. At the end of our meeting today, we'll start with the paperwork. Does that make sense? Good, good. Now, as you recall from our last meeting, we prioritize your goals based on your available resources. You want to reduce any estate and gift tax liability. You want to review your insurance contract and discuss the implication of purchasing long-term care policy. You want to establish a college funding plan for your 3 grandchildren. You want to reduce your personal income taxes. And based on your risk tolerance level, you want to diversify the portfolio that meet your investment needs and expectation. Now, the executive summary that's in your hand consists of sections in different subject areas, which is we will start with the financial health, then we'll go to the insurance, investment planning, retirement planning, tax planning, and estate planning. The plan concludes with an action plan. Moving forward to your risk tolerance. You are willing to take investment risk. You don't want to invest in tobacco stocks. You want to develop an investment strategy and asset allocation to grow and achieve your investment goals. Now, did I miss something here from our meetings before? Good. Let's go to the first page on your executive summary, which is your financial health. Your current financial situation report net worth of $19.5 million and a net disposable income of $3 million. You have a sizable net worth that can be used in reaching your financial goals. We calculate the financial ratio that measure your financial status compared to the benchmark. We discovered that you have a relative high current ratio of 1.3%, which compares your asset to your liabilities. You have excessive cash in your savings account, which is a regular saving. Now, to improve and reduce taxes on your current financial position, we reviewed the balance sheet and the statement of cash flow, and we recommend establishing a college funding plan, 5 to 9 plan for the grandchildren. I have the papers on me here. By the end of the meeting, we can go through these papers and fill them up and go ahead. Now, on the first page, do you have any questions for me before we move on to the insurance tab? Okay, good. Now let's go to the second page, and the second page, Mr. Camp, is your insurance. Now, first, on the insurance level, the homeowner policy on the primary residence need to be at least 80% of your fair market value. The current policy provides you only with $400,000 of coverage. The same thing is on the vacation home. The homeowner policy needs to be 80% as well, and it must include flood insurance coverage, just in case you have Winooski River nearby, just in case it floods and cause damages. The personal auto policies should increase the premium and comprehensive deductibles. the umbrella policy of 1 million is not sufficient enough. An additional amount of coverage should be purchased to increase the amount to 2 million. Now going to your health insurance policy. Should increase premium to cover more medical expenses, doctor visit, and Medicare Part A and B. Like life insurance analysis concluded that the purchase of long-term care policy, which you showed an interest in that. I know it's a very expensive policy, but it pays more for coverage. The policy is very comprehensive and allow each spouse to share spouse's policy benefits. Any questions for me again before this is the risk, this is the insurance. Any questions for me before we move to the investment planning? Okay, now let's go ahead and move to the third page, which is your investment planning. Although, on your investment you have like 3.8 million in non-qualified assets and 1.1 million in qualified assets, the non-qualified portfolio is not diversified. However, the mutual fund portfolio is being managed quite well, doing good. We don't want to touch that, but we will keep monitoring it. Okay. Now, the first thing we need to do is we need to diversify the stock portfolio because there are only 4 stocks in that portfolio. A tax harvesting can be used in the current tax year since stocks B, C, and D, as you can see in the chart here, stocks B, C, and D does have an unrealized gain, while stock A has losses. So using the tax harvesting strategy will offset the balance. We want to take advantage of the tax credit. It reduces your taxes dollar for dollar. For example, you said you allocated like $40,000 to buy a new car. To buy a new car, you can buy a hybrid car. This will reduce your taxes dollar for dollar. Making certain home energy improvement, such as adding insulation or solar water heater to your home. These things will help you in reducing your taxes. Any questions you have for me before we move on and go to the income tax planning? Okay. Now let's turn the page here and go to the income tax planning. On the income tax planning, the investment interest income is currently taxed at the highest marginal rate. We suggest that you purchase some municipal bonds for your portfolio because they are more tax efficient. Second, we recommend increase your charitable contribution, which allows you to take tax deduction of up to half of your adjusted gross income for donation made to charitable organizations. Third, if we defer taxes, there are many ways to do this, such as investing in IRAs. And defer taxes, you want to take it like a deferred payment of taxes to a future year is like getting a free loan from the government. So that's what we mean by deferred taxes. Last but not least, because you're in the high tax bracket, you can save substantial taxes by shifting your income to someone in lower tax bracket, like your kids. Now, any questions for me on the income tax planning before we go ahead and move to the retirement planning? Okay, and now the retirement planning. Mr. Kemp, like you mentioned that you want to grow your retirement asset tax-free. How? Well, we can do that. It's easy. We can do it by converting your IRA account to a Roth IRA account. Converting asset to a Roth IRA must remain there for at least 5 years to avoid penalties and taxes. Roth IRA asset may pass to your heirs tax-free. So we're saving more taxes here. We recommend that each spouse should continue funding the maximum retirement amount available each year, and we can help explore and evaluate the various plans and options that are available to both of you. This is what I have for you on the retirement planning. Any questions before we go ahead and go to the estate planning? Okay. Now on the estate planning, We noticed like a small problem here, which is Mr. John, uh, your estate is subject to excessive probate fees and expenses at this time. There are no essential estate planning. Sorry. There are no essential estate planning document in place, such as power of attorney, to manage your affairs if either of you was to become incapacitated. What we recommend on the estate planning tab, you want to change the title of your vacation home and autos from sole ownership to tenancy at the entirety to avoid probate cost. The most important part of that, you need to visit an estate planning attorney to obtain power of attorneys. Our office can provide you with 3 names of estate attorneys. We work with them on a daily basis. They're good. Go visit them, see them, and see with whom you feel comfortable with, and go ahead, start with your estate planning paperwork. Now, the second most important thing is you need to meet with your CPA. Because we need to accomplish these estate planning objectives. We need to reduce your taxes. That should be made as soon as possible. This is the action plan. This is an immediate action plan. First, visit an estate planning attorney as soon as possible to obtain proper estate planning documents and possibly trusts. Establish a college funding plan, the 529 plan. Miss Mary, when you receive your bill for your credit card, pay off the credit card that you owe, which is like around 14,708, which I already mentioned here as well. Mr. Camp, you mentioned that you have a good relationship with your personal banker. Go to the bank, and change the account title on your CD, which you have on it like $180,000, and add Mrs. Mary on it, joint with survivorship. We want to diversify your portfolio. Our firm can develop an investment asset allocation strategy for you to maximize the investment return and minimize taxes. And last but not least, we want to complete the paperwork with our office to roll over your 401k to the Roth IRA, along with the 529 plan. And at the end, we need to see your insurance agent. You need to meet with your insurance agent, actually. You need to do a comprehensive household inventory, including digital record, to review the coverage that you need for the endorsement, riders, or extension. And the most important thing, we need to add flood insurance coverage on your vacation home policy. Now, these are the recommendations I already put on your executive summary. These are action plans. We need to go through them as early as possible. So when do you think we can go through all these? I can follow up with you, and you can send me an email, or you can call me over the phone. If I didn't pick up, probably I'm in a meeting with another customer. I'll get back to you as soon as I get your message. In regards to your email, definitely I'll get back to you if you have any questions. And always, anything that changes during your life cycle, just keep me up to date with that. Is there anything, did I miss anything with all these? I see that you've been writing some of the questions on each of the papers and the tabs. We can go through all these, but in general, did I miss anything, and did I do whatever you want me to do? Good. Thank you very much for your time, Mr. and Mrs. Camp.